standing on the court right now coming up against her former teammates, but she'll be excited at the same time because New Year's Eve hoops are well and alive, and it's Melbourne who win the tip-off. Now Murray. Not going for the three just yet. George spinning, a nice little dish to Nelson Adota. Perfect start for the Boomers. Wants back-to-back buckets, but confronted there by Roof, who hits the deck. Wallace gets it back into Nelson Adota. Now she gets that back-to-back bucket.
Exceptionally patient offensively, just looking to work the ball in, but high intensity from both teams.
Here's Nicholson. She loves this range, and that's exactly why. She's able to collect it. There's a mismatch there against Wallace. Gets it out to Reed for three. Yes! Also had a double-double last time these two teams played. Roof. Reed. Nice pull-up jumper. Tried to loop it in. Now Melbourne. Utilising the long pass tonight. Mitchell goes in herself and banks in her first field goal of the night. Let's take a look at this bucket here from Mitchell.
That's what the good athletes do, the great players do, they make it look easy.
So scores level. Nicholson wants to change that, pulls up for a long two, and of course she gets it. Here's Wallace finding a lane, but can't find the basket to go with it. Reed on the transition. Pulls up from the elbow and gets that to go. Spinning, wheeling and dealing, and it just can't roll in. Davidson's there. And a foul call once again.
And she got a change of pace.
And good strong hands there from Dave. Hasn't quite got one yet. Nicholson. Hawkins driving in. That is beautiful from Tiana Hawkins. Oh, deserved that make. That was a great assist from Tiff Mitchell.
Kayla George can't buy a three at the moment as we see Townsville run it down their throat. McSpadden with the finish.
Two teams played. As soon as she came on, she got that basket. That was due to the injury to Tiana Hawkins last time, but tonight, Mitchell now. Clock starting to tick down to 1:30. Wallace pulls up and gets it to go as well. Their team's still down 18-13. They love a bit of momentum heading into that quarter time break. Murray thought about the corner three, pulled up for a long two, and that's her first of the night. Shot clock ticking down for the Fire. It's down below 5 seconds now. McSpadden's got to go. And does it really well, Lara McSpadden. She'll be raring to go in this second quarter, no doubt, as Reed tries to give it to Roof and does so successfully. And what's a really nice fixture here for the Townsville Fire. They're really making it hard for teams to come to their town. As Murray loops that one in. Out to Murray. Goes herself and then thinks about giving it to Nelson Adota, who loses it. Shot clock down to 2. Wallace just has to pull the trigger and does so successfully. That is clutch from Christy Wallace.
Melbourne Blues get hung up on that ball screen a bit.
Here's Mitchell driving hard and doing so successfully. Reed tries to step Wallace. Roof provided the screen. So Reed goes on her own and just can't bake it in, although Roof. Samuelson yet to get into the game. Bounce passes it to Roof, who gives it back to Samuelson. And then blocked by Murray. She's doing it all tonight. Mia Murray picking up from where she left off last game. Mitchell dumps it to Goodchild. And she's into the game. Mila Goodchild for her first minutes tonight. Roof scoops it into Hawkins, confronted by two Melbourne players, but gets past both of them.
Nice high-low action there against the mismatch. Ended up with Christy Wallace down on Hawkins. Roof patiently threw it in as Wallace says, well, I'll come straight back at you.
Slows it down, gives it to George. Mitchell. Again, that first step gives her some space and the bucket to finish as well. Townsville crowd happy about that. Breathing a sigh of relief, allows Hawkins to go up the other end, but she's blocked by Davidson, and Roof gets the M1. In the midst of all that, Melbourne lead for the first time this game thanks to that George free throw. 36-35, a minute left to go until we end the first half. That's a great spin move from Hawkins. Hawkins, quick on the inbound, but was confronted. Reed. Driving in as the shot clock ticks down. Reed just finds some space and makes it her own.
When you've got a defender packing off you, wouldn't take the perimeter shot.
Reed now Looking to move it quickly, spinning around Wallace and popping it into the hoop.
Get Steph Reid involved. Can we engage her in ball screen? Can we get her to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim? And she's done that on the twice exceptionally well.
Nelson Adota crosses to George, and now Wallace from the three-point line. That is signature Christy Wallace. So the game remains tight at the start of this second half, I should say. Roof looking for the back-to-back threes, and here we go, Carrie. You called for it. Here they come. Here's Mitchell wanting to get in on the action. Drives in, loses the handle, gives it to Nelson Adota, who scoops it in. Dumps it to Nicholson. Shot clock down in single figures. What can Nicholson produce? A bucket. Classic.
Left hand pull up, step back. Signature for her. Nails it every time. Christy Wallace on the rim. Straight back at you.
Guarded by Nicholson. It's been a fascinating matchup between those two. Nelson Adota on Roof. Spins around successfully.
Just going at each other, showing their plethora of various moves.
Samuelson dumps it to Hawkins. That's a great look from Samuelson.
The arm wrestle continues.
It's bucket for bucket at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Mitchell goes to work on Nicholson. That is all class from Tiff Mitchell. Nelson Adota. Murray. Baseline drive on the reverse. There's Mia Murray turning back the clock. Reid now. Just takes it back a bit. Hawkins gives her some room to move, and Steph Reid takes it.
Just works, takes her time, patient, poise, almost toying with the defenders on that ball screen action. Christy Wallace for the pull-up at the elbow, rattles it in.
Say something about that maybe in his next time out.
Yeah, tough on the break though. She's transitioned, gets the pull-up. It's not someone's designated matchup, as we see Roof clean up the scraps again.
Having a really good night once again, coming off 27 points against Perth. So too is Lauren Nicholson, having a good night and making it better with a buck. I'll take it straight down the other end and try and extend my team's lead. It's Nicholson. That is so clutch. Mitchell from the corner gets her own boards, runs quite hard into Roof. George there to mop it up and gets the nice two-point jumper. And then again to George, thought about the three, then thought better not. Wallace did. And why not when she can shoot it like that? Nicholson thought about the long two. McSpadden lost the handle. The Boomers can draw level or take the lead here. Mitchell confronted by two players. A great pass to Nelson Adota. Mitchell to Wallace. Finds herself some space and a bucket to go with it as well.
Christy Wallace takes her tally to 18.
And now Mitchell, 5 seconds for her. Dubs it into George.
Not
back to Mitchell.
Aware.
Good child. Will that count?
Huge.
I reckon it does. That is massive from Mila Goodchild to end the third period for the Boomers.
Right position, right time. Michaela Roof comes up with another offensive board as Courtney Woods launches, banks the three.
Exactly what you want from your bench players. Wallace, what could she do to respond? George, she's been wanting a 3 on 9, and there it is, Kayla George.
You got Hawkins and George, and Roof right now on George, but
even looking at the bench, McSpadden and Davidson have had good duels, but Mitchell. Murray spinning around on Nicholson. George for back-to-back threes. Oh, yes.
Look
it
out.
Could have been a long two. Two big free throws. Two big three-pointers, mind you, as well. Townsville defense tap it right back into George's arms, and she's getting right into this game now, Kayla George. Samuelson lost the handle, gave it back to Reid. He drives in hard and just floats away through the defense. She just popped up out of nowhere and popped the basket in.
Then work off the ball screen from Kayla George. Splits that.
Here's George for three. Oh, yes, Kayla George. She's had struggles from that range all game, but comes up clutch. The hair in her face affected the shot. And Reid off and running for Townsville. She's got to go. She knows it. And there's a big bucket there for Steph Reid.
Christy Wallace tried to split that trap again. This time the Townsville Fire came up with it, shook it loose. They've got to go quick, the Townsville Fires. Woods gets to the rim. finds the finish and one.
That's massive from Courtney Wood. A little attempt there for a quarter three for Woods. Gets her own rebound. Gaze, the known three-point shooter, knocks it down. Great story, Kate Gaze. Mitchell, another great story. Dances around the defense and finishes. Although
Mitchell
she is
looks like
hobbling.
she's ankle.
In the meantime, a big three hit from the Townsville Fire.
I think, you know, the foul trouble on both teams had an impact. You know, we saw Townsville had Lauren Nicholson sitting down for a portion of that last quarter with 5 fouls.